Good day, everyone. So today's our last class with Professor Tsvet. Hi.
My dear students, as this our final lesson begins, there is something I would like to show you.
Indeed, sir. What might it be, sir? Do show us.
First, I crushed the petals using a mortar and a pestle with a small amount of acetone to extract the pigments. Next, I place a small drop of each extract onto a strip of chromatography paper. I then suspend the paper in a beaker containing acetone. As the solvent travels up the paper, observe carefully how the pigments separate into different colored bands.
Wow, impressive. This is great. This is impressive, Professor. But why do the colors separate in such a different ways? If I may ask, is it because each plant contains different substances?
It is an excellent observation, Miss Ileana. That is indeed my present belief. It appears that the substances within each plant travel at different rates, causing them to separate from the paper. I am still investigating this phenomenon. However, so I cannot yet claim to understand it fully. But with further study, I hope this method one day prove useful for examining the compositions of many different kinds of sample.
But what shall we call it, sir? The experiment.
I have not yet given the matter my start.
Then perhaps you ought to devise a name for it. Let me see. Chroma. And maybe something akin to graph. Aha, I got it. Chromatography. What do you think about it?
There you go again, Ileana. Inventing word out the thin air.
Perhaps so, but I find it rather pleasing.
Very well. I shall give it some considerations and inform you of my decisions in due course.
As you wish, sir.
Good day. This is the Forensics Department. How may we be of assistance?
Good day. We are from the police department and would like to request your assistance in investigating a recent incident that took place in a small office.
Oh, well, yes, okay. We will be honored to assist with the investigation.
Everyone, we have been entrusted with our first case. Let's waste no time. See that everything is in order before we depart.
At last! Finally, I had begun to fear that I'll grow within these laboratory walls.
Indeed. Come everyone, let's move.
We have arrived at the crime scene. I again express my gratitude towards Miss Nova, Miss Zaski, Miss Ileana, and Miss Koska for accepting our request. I will be waiting out here until you are done with the inspection.
Thank you.
You guys must be the forensic investigator, right? By the way, my name is Syaza Izz, and it is nice to meet you guys. And thank you for agreeing to investigate what I've done.
Yeah, we are very sorry for your loss, Mrs. Arni. We shall do our best in our power to uncover the person responsible for this.
This appears rather unusual for a case of suicide. None of the evidence has been disturbed, has it?
No, it has not. Why do you say so, then?
If that is the case, then the victim's pen ought to be somewhere in this room, should it not?
This later, shall we bring it back to laboratory for more thorough examination? Yeah, I think so. Can I have Okay, let's go.
So here is the list of the suspects. The first is the victim's personal secretary, Miss Isabella Falin. She has come under suspicions as she was most often in the victim's company. The second is Mrs. Lilith Volkov, who is said to have borne a long-standing grievance against the victims. And lastly, there is this victim's client, Mrs. Sabina Miro, who was expected to meet with the victims on the very day of the unfortunate incident.
Thank you, officer. We shall look into the matter without delay. Please inform your men that we will be taking the note left by the victim for further examination.
Pardon me, officer, but if I may inquire, did your men happen to recover a pen at the scene yesterday?
If I have recollect right, you have found no pen at the scenes. Do you have any further questions?
No, that shall be all. Thank you, officer.
Do you find anything really peculiar about this note?
We have examined the note several times yet. I can't find anything unusual about it.
If you would, allow me to examine the note more closely. Are you sure? Curious. The ink used to write this pen differs from the ink commonly found in writing pens.
Now that you've mentioned it, I can see the difference. I agree, Diana. There is something quite unusual about it.
Tell me, Diana, do you suppose to know what sort of pen is used merely by examining the ink?
I believe I may have a pen that produces an ink of a very similar character. Allow me a moment, I shall retrieve it. I have found it.
A quick pen?
Indeed.
But aren't quill pens rather old-fashioned nowadays?
Perhaps. However, allow me to write a few words that shall be. What do you think?
Wait, it looks identical to the note.
Remarkable work, Diana.
Well done, Diana. Now then, do you guys remember about what professors were last botany class?
The one about separating different substances within a sample?
Yes, that one. Professor Tsvet mentioned that although his research was still in progress, his method may one day distinguish the different substances within mixture. If we compare the ink from Diana's quill pen as our reference and compare it with the inks from each suspect pens, perhaps we may discover whether the same ink was used to write this note.
Understood. I shall contact the police department at once and request the writing instrument that belonging to each suspect.
While she's away, let us prepare necessary apparatus and materials.
Understood. Right away.
None of these samples match the control.
I suspect as much. It is unlikely that people still use a quill pen. Most people have long since abandoned it.
And what should we do now?
Actually, I have something that could help us. I also asked the police department if they have any information about Mr. Zarni. According to this record, Mr. Zarni's family has owned a pen manufactory for more than 50 years. Their business is quite well known throughout the region.
Then are you suggesting that Mr. Zarni may still possess a quick pen?
Precisely. The record also states that he and the victim entered the company together and we were once close company. However, after the victim received a promotional to a higher position, Mr. Zarni gradually distanced himself from her.
Resentment harbored for years. That could definitely be a motive.
We have found it.
That you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one.